welcome back for another video. I've activated the wildcard off the back of a pretty good game week overall, and to carry some rolled transfers over and shake the team up ahead of the fixture swings in Gameweek 6. I'll run through the team and how it's looking at the moment, but let's recap some of the action from the game week as well, and some things we've learned to take forward first. West Ham were defeated 3-0 by Chelsea to kick the game week off, Jackson with a brace and Palmer with the other goal. Jackson's brace, the quickest brace by a Chelsea player since Drogba in 2005. It's the first time in Premier League history as well that West Ham have lost their opening 3 home games. They did look poor, defensively they were wide open, and Chelsea registered 2.2 expected goals. Palmer's been directly involved in 11 goals in 11 away games in the Premier League this year, 3 goals 8 assists. Only De Bruyne's got more involvements this calendar year. In 38 games he's got 39 goals and assists. It'll actually be even more if you include FPL assists. So only Haaland's got more points than Jackson among the forwards now. The forwards are quite tricky at the moment. Beyond Haaland and Jackson, there's also Watkins, Havertz, and then there's some cheaper forwards like João Pedro maybe, Calvert-Lewin, Vardy, Wood, Cunha, all in the mix. If you could pick your perfect front 3 right now, what would it be? With team balance in mind as well. Is the Chelsea defence going under the radar is my other question. There's 2 clean sheets on the bounce now, and Colwell's played 90 every match, who I really like for 4.5 mil. The next 2 are Brighton and Forest home fixtures. Aston Villa 3, Wolves 1. Rodgers finally coming up with the goods, 2 assists, and he moved from 0 to 2 bonus in the final seconds of the game. Duran came on and he scored again. That's 9 goals in 719 minutes, which is pretty absurd. Only Haaland's got a better minutes per goal average in Premier League history, as far as players that have scored at least 2 goals, which is also pretty absurd given that Haaland's playing every game. I still wouldn't go anywhere near Duran personally, he's an impact sub primarily. Watkins with another goal, and they're away at Ipswich next, who are rock bottom for expected goals conceded this season. And Konsa got a late goal to put the game to bed. Fair play if he had him. I benched him. It wasn't looking good after the clean sheet was wiped by Cunha's goal, but he delivered in the end. Mosquera was stretched off in this match after a challenge by Rodgers. His legs sort of bent backwards, it was a grim one, and I fear he might be out for a long time. Fulham were far too much for Newcastle to handle, winning 3-1. Newcastle were really poor, and we had seen glimmers of it in the past games, but the results had kind of papered over the cracks. Fulham took 22 shots, 18 of which were inside the box, 5 big chances created. Hall and Livramento were both benched, Trippier started, and Isak made the squad, but the goal came from Barnes and it was assisted by Murphy. Good game for Hale End, as both Smith Rowe and Nelson scored, and Jimenez got the other one. That's 3 returns and 5 for Smith Rowe, he's been class so far this season. But do you keep him if you're wildcarding though? They're away at Forest next, and then it's Man City, Villa, Everton, Brentford and Crystal Palace. Fulham's 2.29 expected goals were the second highest in Saturday's games, only Spurs registered higher. Let's talk about Spurs then, with a dominant comeback after Bumo put them 1-0 ahead within the first minute. I expect one of the most popular transfers this week is going to be Jota to Bumo, given the fixtures, and Jota being an unused substitute in his match. Son got 2 assists and Solanke got his first Spurs goal. Spurs racked up a ridiculous 3.52 expected goals, 23 shots, 15 chances created, 7 big chances. Solanke's numbers leap off the page here. He had 4 of those 7 big chances himself, he took 4 shots in the box, 1.61 expected goals. Maddison with exactly 2 XGI was the highest of the game week as well. Hilariously, in his post-match interview, Maddison said that his mum told him off for taking his shirt off after the goal, because she had him in her FPL team and he got a booking for it. 1 goal, 1 assist for Maddison. Solanke's in my current wildcard draft, but it is very close between him, Havertz and Watkins for that mid-price forward slot. 4 mil defender Van der Berg got another start for Brentford. My concern with him is, does he continue to start when Brentford use a back 4? They've used a back 3 in the last couple of games, which frees up a slot for a defender. It could be Collins and Pinnock in a back 4. So I still prefer other 4 mil defenders like Greaves for now. Mosquera would have been my other standout pick, but obviously that injury's ruled him out as an option for now. Liverpool 3, Bournemouth 0. Liverpool deserved winners overall, but the scoreline flattered them a bit. I was really impressed by Bournemouth. They kept chipping away, and I felt pretty fortunate to come away with a clean sheet. And as a Trent owner, the assist and bonus as well for an 11-pointer. Bournemouth took 19 shots, 12 in the box. Semenyo's the heart of their attack, and he's so involved every match. He's another one that's in my wildcard at the moment. He has gone a level up this season, and he's looking nailed at the moment. He's taken 24 shots this season, which is actually top in the league. Comparing the midfielders, for 5.6 mil, he's right up there near the likes of Bruno Diaz, De Bruyne, Salah and Maddison. He's got Southampton home and then Leicester away next. So Jota was named on the bench for Liverpool, Diaz started and he got a brace. If you had Jota, let us know in the comments who's coming off your bench. Alisson missed out with a hamstring issue which we caught wind of in the deadline stream. Kelleher did well to shut Bournemouth out, he made 7 saves and he finished with 2 bonus for a 10-pointer. Trent's well ahead for expected goal involvement among defenders this season with 2.15 so far, Romero's second with 1.14, and then Porro 1.12, Mitchell 1.11. He's another one that I'm very tempted to keep on the wildcard. Brighton vs Forest ended in a 2-2 draw, would open proceedings with a penalty. Now Gibbs White was expected to be on pens for Forest, having taken them before, but it was Wood who took it and buried it, Hudson-Odoi assist. Now this certainly increases his appeal for me given the next 5 are Fulham, Chelsea, Palace, Leicester and West Ham. That's 3 goals from the opening 5 for him. It was a chaotic second half. Gibbs White got a second yellow for a heavy challenge, immediately followed up by a red card for Nuno and Herzler amidst the commotion. So both sides are going to be without their manager on the touchline for Gameweek 6. Welbeck scored to make it 3 goals this season for him. Annoyingly for those that had him, João Pedro was named on the bench on his return from injury and he came on for the final 20 or so minutes. Man City 2, Arsenal 2. I'm discussing this one fresh right after the final whistle, and this is honestly one of the craziest matches I've ever seen. Haaland doing Haaland things, putting City ahead from a quality Sabi assist. Arsenal respond with a weldy from Calafiori on his full debut outside the box, Martinelli assist. Arsenal then go ahead off a corner with another Gabriel goal, Saka assist. Saka's assisted every Arsenal goal this season now besides the one he scored himself. Trossard gets a second yellow for booting the ball away right before the stroke of half time. As a result, Saka was taken off at half time, and Arsenal held on to the lead till the 98th minute, Stones equaliser. What did you think of the game? Let us know in the comments. Really well fought draw from Arsenal. Raya was immense, and I think Raya, Gabriel and Saka are going to be the 3 players locked in on the wildcard. So I've got 2 wildcard drafts I'm going back and forth on. Basically, one's got Trent and the other one's got Palmer. But obviously there's some other sacrifices being made to get Palmer. The drafts could very well change by the time my team selection video comes out on Wednesday as well, so make sure you subscribe for that. So this is the draft that's got Trent and no Palmer. It's Raya in goal, it's Trent, Vardy and Gabriel in defence, Roger, Saka, Eze, Bumo, Semenyo in midfield, Haaland and Solanke up top, Valdemarsson, João Pedro, Greaves and Dunk on the bench. In this one, 6 changes to the starting 11, and obviously I've got 2 free transfers that will carry over, and hopefully I'll be able to roll a couple more for 4 or 5, which is basically another wildcard. The reason I went for it was because 2 free transfers wasn't enough to get all the players that I wanted to attack the fixtures. Semenyo, Bumo, double Arsenal defence, plus a potential 0.5 swing in team value just about tipped it for me. The aim is to roll further as well, so I can easily shake my team up if needed. For example, if Foden emerges as a pick, he's on my radar. Solanke I'm kind of on the fence on. I like Havertz and Watkins as well for similar prices, and they do have better fixtures in Gameweek 6, though maybe Man United is not a bad fixture nowadays. I'm on the fence about Vardy as well. I mean, City's fixtures are pretty ridiculous from Gameweek 7, so I'd like a defender. I could go for Lewis instead, though he was benched against Arsenal, though there is that chance of some early team use in some game weeks. Or I could go for Ederson in goal, but I'd need an extra 0.5 mil, because I'd keep double Arsenal defence and I'd get Saliba instead. Now Vardy always close to a price drop, so if I get him it could be for 5.9 mil. I'm hoping that Eze falls as well if I do keep him. I think he's still great value for 6.9 mil or even 6.8 mil. I am on the fence about keeping Eze as well though. This is the Palmer draft. It's Flecken in goal, Saliba, Colwill, Gabriel, Rogers, Saka, Palmer, Bumo, Semenyo, Haaland and Solanke. So basically, to summarise the sacrifices for Palmer, I've lost Vardy and I've lost Trent, and João Pedro's gone down to Archer. Greaves has gone up to Aina though from Forest. I had 0.4 mil spare and I like Forest fixtures, especially if I want to bench an Arsenal defender against Liverpool. That all said, I need Jackson to double rise before the deadline to get the extra 0.1 mil needed. I did have Alex Moreno for 4.4 mil, but he went off at half time against Brighton, so he's too risky. One reason why I really like this one is not just having Palmer for 2 home games, but he leaves the team a bit more flexible. Let's say for example Foden gets back to last season's form, then it's far easier to get him, or maybe even going about Salah could be a mistake, then I could get to him. Solanke down to a cheap forward and then Palmer to Salah works. Let me know which one you prefer. Got the whole week ahead to think it all over anyway. Thanks as always for watching. See you soon for the next one.